would help if I actually unmuted my microphone, wouldn't I? Hello. Hello. Okay, wait, I need to do some things very quickly. Let's turn this down. Let's turn this down. Okay, there's that. There we go. Let's just, there you go. There we go. We're in the library. We're in the library. Hello, everyone. We're in the library, so we got to be kind of quiet today. Hello, Blue Eyes White Boomer. Hello, Yoavco. Hi. And hello, Just Jane. And hello, Astral. How are you all doing? How are you all doing? How is everybody doing today? And Just Jane, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. That's really generous. I really appreciate that. Okay, so... Oh, hi, Potter. Hello. Hi. How are you doing? Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna lie. This is my first ever, attempt at ASMR. I'm gonna need some feedback as we go through. The sound alerts aren't gonna work, Kleeper. I've turned them all off. You can waste your points on them if you want, but they ain't gonna work. It's just like the train choo-choo. That's so valid. That's so valid. I love that. I also am a big fan of trains. Personally, I'm a really big fan of the what is it? The Flying Scotsman. The one that the overnight train. No, not the Flying Scotsman. The overnight train that goes from London to Scotland. I really want to go on it one day. I'm a big fan of that one. Yeah. Hi, Seon. How are you doing? I wonder if ASMR increases the words per minute. This is a very good question. This is a very good question. I have to contain my yap a bit today because, like I said, we're in the library. So if you don't remember, what was it? It was like a month ago now. We did a charity event, and we raised money for charity. And it went very, very well. It was all part of Syzygy's big event for the LA fires. Yeah, we raised money and we smashed through the donation goals, sorry. We smashed through them in literally how much? I want to say 5 minutes. It was really something. Yeah. So one of the final goal, I believe, no, the final goal was saying Ara for 15 minutes. I'm not going to do that on stream. I'm going to do that as a video. I need to pre-record that. I won't be able to cope with that. But the second highest donation goal was to do an ASMR stream where we just read the Declaration of Helsinki. So that's what we're doing. And I'm not gonna lie, this is my first ever ASMR stream and I have no idea what I'm doing. So I don't even watch ASMR, to be honest, because I can't listen to it. It doesn't give me tingles, it gives me a strong disgust response. So yeah, I don't watch it. So I'm gonna need some feedback. I need feedback. The other thing is that we can't be too loud, because if we do, the librarian will come over and they will end the stream. So we gotta be careful. Thank you so much for the level 2 hype train, and thank you again, Just Jane, for those 5 gifted subs. It's very kind of you and very generous. Level 2 with nan%. I wonder, I should probably fix that bug. One day. What happens if I use the soundboard? Nothing, I've turned them off. The alerts are also they're sound muted. They'll still appear on screen. Follower goal, not follower goal, the follower alerts and sub alerts and stuff like that. They're all going to appear, but they're not going to have any noises. So, yeah. If we're too loud, the stream turns into an impromptu collab with Piper Permit. Literally, no, we'll actually just get kicked out. They will just kick us out. So we got to be careful. We can't be too loud. The librarian is very threatening, actually. The librarian is I don't know if you've ever seen those old anime grandmas, but threatening. They're always friendly in anime. They're not in real life. This woman is scary. Yeah. I live in fear. She's already kicked me out 4 times in the last week. So we need to be careful. We need to be quiet. Did you get one of those fun ASMR headphones, microphones that looks like an ear? I did not. No, this is just my normal microphone. I've changed the settings on it. I don't know if it's working very well though. I have no idea. Like I said, I had no idea what I'm doing. I just followed like a tutorial and hoped for the best. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if this is gonna have like whispery energy. I can't hear it. I listened back to like how it sounded and I thought it sounded okay, but I'm not sure. So yeah, feedback is very much recommended. Very much recommended and welcomed. Thank you. Hi Word Sticks, how are you doing? And hi Guns, how are you doing? I'll keep everything lowercase so it's not too loud. Thank you, I appreciate that because the librarian is attracted to caps lock, but like it's okay if it's under like 50, like, you know, if it's under 10 characters, then they won't come over, but she will come over. Yeah, I'm scared. If it's more than 10 words in capitals, she'll come over. I live in fear. You're doing good. I'm glad. I'm glad. The limiter is probably the most important thing. Honestly, probably, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I did have to yeah. I had to set some pretty straight limits on it because I was like, I am just gonna go off on one and I'll start ranting and then my volume will increase exponentially and it would just be terrible. Like this would not go well. Also the unhinged laughing, you know, let's be honest, that's a big chunk of how I communicate is the unhinged laughing, so had to be careful with that. Oh no. When you laugh, you tend to inhale and have a brief moment at a very non-ASMR frequency. The limiter should help. Okay, I'll see if I can add one on very quickly. I'll see if I can add one on. If not, I can just try and avoid laughing. That's also an option. I can do my best. Limiter, there we go. It's just on the default. We'll see if that's good enough. We'll see. Ow. Honestly, the bigger issue is probably going to be me hitting my microphone. It's a lot closer than it normally is. Normally I put it like a solid, I don't know, like 30 centimeters away because I'm too loud. This isn't ideal. This isn't ideal. Oh no. Hi Syriax. Is the librarian like a Minecraft warden or from the Quiet Place? Absolutely Minecraft warden, actually. Very, very threatening. I live in fear. So you're saying if I caps lock, I can substitute my lack of risk and attract a librarian? Yeah, but it's not the kind of librarian that you want to attract, you know? It's like very, very threatening. Very threatening. Like, may or may not seal you inside of a book for the rest of your life type of threatening, you know? Yeah. My arms and legs are still hurting after a 10-minute lift I did 3 days ago. I feel that. Sometimes I walk and then all of my joints ache for literally like a week. It's terrible. Terrible stuff. Not good. I feel you. I feel you. Can't stay for too long. Oh, hi Bushy. Hi. Hi. Can't stay for too long, but have fun today. Thank you. I don't think we're going to be having fun today. I think I'm going to be horrifically embarrassed. I think we're just going to be very, very embarrassed. Yeah. We're going to do our best though. We're going to do our best. Why are you quacking? It won't work. The quack won't work. I've turned it off. I thought ahead. I was like, what's the first thing everybody's going to do to troll me? Oh, I know. They're going to like spam all of the sound alerts. So I turned them off. Beat you to it. I'll give you your points back afterwards if I remember though. But yeah, I hope your day is going well, Bushy. Thank you for dropping by. And good luck with the festival preparations. I hope it's going well. We just need to surround you by a wall of wool. It's fine. Yeah. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I should get a soundproof booth because I am too loud. It's not ideal. Not ideal. Hit me in there. Lock me in there. Compact it with wool. It deals with the fact that I'm fragile and the fact that I'm too loud. Like, it's a win-win for everybody, really, isn't it? Maybe I won't get kicked out of the library if I set up a soundproof booth and just fill it with cotton wool. Maybe I also won't have achy joints. Win-win. Success all round. He revealed the secret Rizix tricks earlier. This is very true. I haven't watched it yet. It's like I'm normally a VOD watcher in general. If it's not on Twitch, then I'm a VOD watcher. I'm very excited to watch that. It seems very, very fun. Let me wait. Ooh, keyboard ASMR. Very good. There you go. That's the link to Syzygy's channel. If you don't already follow it, please go and subscribe to her. Yeah. Did a Valentine's Day Rizix stream with Phaedra Sarah earlier, and yeah, I plan to watch it because it sounds like it was very funny. Hi Cezak, how are you doing? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Wish a cute librarian girl would crack my skull open wet. That's very specific. Okay. I'm not sure if it's that kind of librarian, actually. I think it might be like, you know, like a kind of like an ethereal guardian type of thing, very threatening, potentially a banshee, you know. Remember, this is Ireland, so there's very strong chance that this is actually a hag or a banshee, you know. University finally addresses the quack problem and raises its academic standards. We wish. We wish. Oh no. The festival prep's going great. I'm glad. Although I might have accidentally invited my law friends to the festival and now they'll have to watch me. I just have to finish my studies for the midterm. You can do it. You know, I think that might be quite nice, right? Because they'll be cheering you on. That might be fun. Yeah. A banshee librarian would not be effective. Is the banshee thing not to scream loudly? Yes, but that's how you get people to stop being loud, is you scream at them, you know? And also, like, a banshee, they scream when there's like something horrific approaching, right? Like there's imminent death or something. I think that's what they do. So that sounds about right for people that are studying for exams, to be fair, you know? There's 28 people here. Statistically, at least one of them is into banshees. I am the one. That's so valid. Screams quietly, yeah. Ah! Imagine. Imagine. Oh no. Terrible stuff. I'm trying my best to be quiet. I can already tell I'm literally struggling. I'm struggling. But yeah, so today what we're doing is we are reading the Declaration of Helsinki, which is ethical principles for medical research involving human participants. And it's published by the World Medical Association. So the plan was that because you know, everybody was so generous and donated so much money to charity, I thought this was going to be like it wouldn't happen. Apparently it happened, so we have to do this now. I'm not complaining. I think this is quite funny. I think this concept is funny, so we're going with it, you know. I'm enjoying this. I might need to take a break because I'm not going to lie, it's like this isn't what my voice is used to, so I'm going to need to you know, maybe take a break halfway through. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. ASMR is more about cadence than being quiet. You're doing great. Thank you, Just Jane. Thank you. Probably I need to slow down because normally I talk very, very quickly. When I get excited, I start talking very, very quickly. So, yeah, if I start speed running this document, please tell me to stop. Please tell me to slow down. Yeah. Hi, Vufster. How are you? How are you? I hope you're good. Please don't shout in the library, though. You'll summon the banshee. We're all scared of the banshee. She's threatening. If you're too loud, then she screams at you and then you die. It's horrifying. Horrifying. And hi, Yanis Phoenix. How are you? How are you? Sometime I want to see someone do anti-ASMR. All comments must be in all uppercase. Stream of just shouting excitedly about whatever comes to mind. That just sounds like an average stream for me. That sounds like what most of my streams are like. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that sounds like an average Psydere stream. This is very difficult for me. I had to actively avoid caffeine today, you know? I had to actively avoid it. I don't even have any tea. Very sad. It'll be a bit embarrassing, but I gotta keep Husbando's image in my mind. I do it for his honour. Exactly, you do. Thank you for practicing and performing in his honour. It means a lot. Genuinely, it actually does. We think it's very sweet, actually. I feel like reading too fast won't be a problem. Don't attack me like this, Astro. I don't need this negativity. Come on. We're in the library this time. If we're in the library, then we won't be having problems, you know, with the reading. We're in the right environment. We're just gonna keep reading. We're gonna do a good job here, okay? We're gonna read the thing. Hi, Variona. How are you doing? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Welcome to the library. Is Declaration of Helsinki not considered tea? I mean, it could well be. I'm so sorry. If I keep hitting my desk, I'm not at a good height. I'm not gonna lie. I'm struggling. This library desk is like a little bit too, it's not super well adjusted. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna do our best though, right? We're gonna do our best. Okay, so here's the thing. We need to read the Declaration of Helsinki for our new research project, okay? The only copy that they had was here in the library, so we have to read it, but we gotta be quiet, you know? We don't want the librarian to come over. So, I found this copy of the Declaration of Helsinki. Are you ready to start reading it? Are you ready? I don't think I am, but we're gonna do it anyway, you know? We're gonna do our best. It was made in Sweden, I'll have you know. What, the Declaration of Helsinki? Isn't that in Finland? I'm so confused. The desk? Oh yeah, the desk was. The desk was made in Sweden, that's true. It's a very IKEA-tastic desk, that's why it's got so much energy inside of it. Every time that I hit it, it makes a deafening noise because I'm not gonna lie, it's just made out of cardboard probably. One day I'll get a better one. Okay. Right. Okay. Didn't you hear? Helsinki was retaken by Sweden again. You know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if something like that was happening in 2025, in all honesty. Let's not borrow Helsinki. We'll just read the Declaration of Helsinki. We don't need the actual city, you know? Seeing vTheorem do their thing makes me want to become a science VTuber. Alas, I don't even have a bachelor's. I mean, I don't think you need to have a bachelor's in order to talk about science, right? You don't need a bachelor's. Obviously, like, you know, education can help to make sure you know how to verify your information and stuff like that. But personally, I'm very much in favor of lots of people becoming science VTubers, you know? Like, the more good information that's going out into the world, the more that the misinformation is drowned out. That's my general principle. Okay. Right, we're going to read. The world... Wait, no, what is it? Okay, we've fallen at the first hurdle. Cool, brilliant, good start. The World Medical Association Declaration of Helsinki, Ethical Principles for Medical Research Involving Human Participants. Misinformation VTuber. No, we're not having any misinformation VTubers, that's not ideal. Let's not do that. Hi Pink Class, how are you doing? I hope you're good. The anti-Psydere. That would be my version of A the Astrologer. You know, there's A the Astrologer. For me, it would be like misinformation dairy or something. You know, with the tinfoil hat. Yeah. Okay. Adopted by the 18th World Medical Association General Assembly in Helsinki, Finland on June 1964, and amended by the 29th World Medical Association General Assembly in Tokyo, Japan on October 1975, and again by the 35th World Sorry, my brain was like, place Japan. No. My brain was like, Declaration of Helsinki. Blah. Declaration of Helsinki, Tokyo, Japan. Yo, Pog. I can't even do ASMR, seriously. This is so bad. Okay. As long as you don't make a claim about your education and acknowledge your shortcomings, it's probably fine. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Personally, I'm in favour of like undergrads doing science communication because I think, you know, by the time you're an undergrad, you're already starting to develop some really core skills in terms of like reading and understanding and, you know, assessing sources and stuff like that. I think that's all. I think that's all very valid. Hi, Duke Duckman, how are you doing? Astrology blog reading for an April Fool's would be fire. That would be pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. She creates conspiracies instead of studying them. Well, to be fair, for some parts of like conspiracy theories research, you do actually need to create conspiracy theories because you need to have it follow the narrative so that you can work with participants using it. But you also like you can't always use real ones because people have pre-existing opinions, you know? So sometimes even even good Psydere has to create conspiracies, you know? Or at least conspiracy theories. Did you know that all VTubers are CIA operatives? It's true. The thing about like birds are all replaced by drones is not true. It's actually the VTubers. Sorry. Hey, the astrologer and Miss Infidere collab. That would be so cursed. I would love it though. That would be so funny. So far in line with my library experience. Very true, actually. Every time that I ever used to go to the library to study during my undergrad, I would just sit there and yap with my friends instead of actually getting my work done. So I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah, shh, don't tell them. Don't tell them. Don't, ouch, I meant to do that. Don't tell them. Don't tell them that we're all undercover. Just saying, Psydere, psyop, coincidence? Highly questionable. Okay. And also adopted by the 35th World Medical Association General Assembly in Venice, Italy on October 1983, and also by the 41st World Medical Association General Assembly in Hong Kong in September 1989. And also the 48th and also the 48th World Medical General Assembly. No. And also the 48th World Medical Association General Assembly in Somerset West, Republic of South Africa, on October 1996. And also the 52nd World Medical Association General Assembly in Edinburgh, Scotland, on October 2000. And also the 53rd World Medical Association. This is just going on. Goodness gracious, they've adopted this so many times. And also the 53rd World Medical Association General Assembly in Washington, D.C., USA, on October 2002. They added a note of clarification. And also the 55th World Medical Association General Assembly in Tokyo, Japan, on October 2004, when a note of clarification was added. And also the 59th World Medical General Assembly. No. And also the 59th World Medical Association General Assembly in Seoul, Republic of Korea, on October 2008. And also the 65th World Medical Association General Assembly in Fortaleza, Brazil, on October 2013. And by the 75th World Medical Assembly. No. And by the 75th World Medical Association General Assembly in Helsinki, Finland, on October 2024. Oh my gosh, they really did just adopt it and then amend 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 it and then clarify it and then clarify it and then amend it and then amend it and then amend it. That's wild. Okay. People cottoned onto birds, so the CIA collaborated with Tokyo to manufacture the VTuber industry to spy on the populace, you know? No comment. No comment. Single-handedly tripling adoption rates worldwide. Genuinely, actually. They've adopted so many declarations. Adoption of Helsinki, genuinely. Hi Direct, how are you doing? Welcome into the library. Please be quiet today. Please be quiet. We're in the library and there's a scary banshee librarian that's gonna throw us out and scream at us and then kill us if we don't be careful. So we gotta be quiet. Okay. So, preamble. 1. The World Medical Association, or WMA, has developed the Declaration of Helsinki as a statement of ethical principles for medical research involving human participants, including research using identifiable human material or data. The declaration is intended to be read as a whole, and each of its constituent paragraphs should be applied with the consideration of all other relevant paragraphs. While the declaration is adopted by physicians, the WMA holds that these principles should be upheld by all individuals, teams, and organizations involved in medical research, as these principles are fundamental to respect for and protection of all research participants, including both patients and healthy volunteers. Okay, that's very important to note. So, I guess I should say a little bit of context here. As a psychologist, if I'm not doing any kind of mental health research, I technically don't have to follow the Declaration of Helsinki because it's not medical research. However, it does form the basis for most other ethical frameworks. So that's why we're reading it, because it's important for us to know for our research project. Yeah. Is there a link to the PDF of the declaration? I'm using the World Medical Association's website. It's part of their policies. There you go. There's the link. Let me pin that actually. There we go. It is there. I hope it's because you're going to be reading my words per minute, rating my word per minute even. The only computer still running Windows 98. So true. There's not a single PDF to be had. I'm reading a physical book though, actually. I swear. I'm reading a printout. Are we not allowed to give electroshocks to study participants or not? Depends on what the ethics board says. It's clearly got past a few of them. Oh no. Reminds me of how I forgot to sign ethics guideline form for 3 years in university. That is terrifying. How on earth did you get away with that? I live in fear. Goodness gracious. I'm not gonna lie, this is like doing something weird to my throat. I'm not used to talking like this, so we'll see how this goes. Okay. General principles. The World Medical Association Declaration of Geneva binds the physician with the words, "The health and well-being of my patient will be my first consideration," and the World Medical Association International Code of Medical Ethics declares the physician must commit to the the physician must commit to the primacy of patient health and well-being and must offer care in the patient's best interest. It is the duty of the physician to promote and safeguard the health, well-being, and rights of patients, including those who are involved in medical research. The physician's knowledge and conscience are dedicated to the fulfillment of this duty. Medical progress is based on research that ultimately must include participants. Even well-proven interventions should be evaluated continually through research for their safety, effectiveness, efficiency, accessibility, and quality. Medical research involving human participants is subject to... No, it's not. It's subject with singular. Gah. One day I'm going to learn how to read. One day we'll do better. Medical research involving human participants is subject to ethical standards that promote and ensure respect for all participants and protect their health and rights. Since medical research takes place in the context of various structural inequities, oh, that's a word that's difficult to say, that's getting stuck in my throat, goodness gracious. Since medical research takes place in the context of various structural inequities, various structural inequities, yes, there we go. Come on, we can do this. Since medical research takes place in the context of various structural inequities, researchers should carefully consider how the benefits, risks, and burdens are distributed. Meaningful engagement with potential and enrolled participants and their communities should occur before, during, and following medical research. Researchers should enable potential and enrolled participants and their communities to share their priorities and values, to participate in research design, implementation, and other relevant activities, and to engage in understanding and dissemination of results. Oh my gosh. Does the Helsinki Declaration apply to us research subjects in chat, or did we sign away our rights to that somehow? That was included in the informed consent form. Did you not read it? You shouldn't sign things that you don't read. Wild that it starts with, as a reminder, here are 2 other of our declarations, don't forget about those. Yeah, it's very much like, see this previous paper, you know? There was no primary research, so I guess no one checked. That's fair, that's fair. The physician must commit to the bit. They must indeed commit to the bit of, like, helping people. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? 6 a.m. I got to go sleep, have fun reading. Thank you for joining us, Guns. Thank you for joining us. I hope you sleep well. 10 words per minute. We're doing so well. Excellent, excellent. What if I can't read? That's fine, I'm reading for you, you know? We're doing great, we're doing great. Okay, I'm gonna have some water. I'm gonna have some water and then we'll keep reading. I just realised I like instinctively mute myself when I'm drinking water, but I don't know, is that an ASMR noise? Should I not mute? I don't know how this works. I spent literally like 5 minutes looking through this category and yeah, I realised that I can't watch it myself, I'm not gonna lie, because mouth noises really upset me. Like, they really, really upset me. Someone speaking like softly, I really appreciate that. That's very, very nice, but the mouth noises, oh no. Oh no, I can't do it. Misophonia go brr. Not a fan, not a fan. This is going to be fun to edit, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to have fun editing this. Yeah. Okay. The primary purpose of medical research involving human participants is to generate knowledge to understand the causes, development, and effects of diseases, improve preventative, diagnostic, and therapeutic interventions, and ultimately to advance individual and public health. These purposes can never take precedence over the rights and interests of individual research participants. Mouth noises, also known as speaking. Okay, when I say mouth noises, I mean like some of them will make like how can I describe this? I went on some ASMR content to see what it was like, and they were kind of going like they were making like licking noises. Yeah, like lip smacking and licking noises and stuff like that. That kind of thing I can't listen to. Genuinely, it like makes my hair stand on end. I can't do it. It really, really upsets me. Yeah. What I can listen to is like I don't know if this makes sense, but like you know, like the noise of like a pestle, like a mortar and pestle, that's nice. I like that one. Chalk on a chalkboard, that's nice. Yeah, pages turning, fire crackling, those kinds of things, you know? Those are nice, but any kind of like clicking or, yeah, I don't know. clicking, smacking, licking. No, oh, it's not a good feeling for me personally. Yeah, husband needs to make you a head pats redeem. Noted. We'll make note of that. We'll make note of that. The only acceptable ASMR I've listened to is a monster girl laying in bed with a listener and chomping on their ear. Even that would really upset me. That would really upset me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. No. Genuinely, even just reading that made my hair stand on end. I didn't like it. This is fine though. This is fine because, yeah, this should be fine. I don't know, like I said, I can't hear myself, so I hope it's okay. I hope it's okay. I'm not much for ASMR, but light speaking works for me. Yeah, same. I find it very relaxing. I find it very relaxing. But apparently that is still like kind of a type of ASMR. So I know that there's a lot of like YouTube channels that are called unintentional ASMR or whatever, and they will literally just upload like a video of a lecture about quantum physics or something like that, and it's just somebody just speaking very softly. They're just polite and speaking softly. Um, that's that kind of thing. I love that. That's very, very good. Yeah, we love that. Hi-Fi, how are you doing? How much of Helsinki have I missed? You've missed at least 3 suburbs of Helsinki, but if you're referring to the declaration, we are on, where are we? General Principles number 7. So we're not that far through because I think there's like I think there's maybe 40 something articles or paragraphs, numbered paragraphs in the whole thing. So we're not that far through yet. We've been yapping, classically. Completely misspelled it. I didn't even process that, to be fair. I did not even process that. I mean, I can't judge. I couldn't spell theorem correctly for like 3 months after we decided on the name V theorem, so, you know, it's fine. It's fine. ASMR yapping, genuinely. It's just like being at the library for real when you sit there with your friends and you're like talking about something completely irrelevant, and then suddenly someone goes, wait, we should work, and then you work for like 15 minutes and then you start yapping again. It's the same thing. It's like this is the real university experience, to be honest. Me hiding in the closet from an axe murderer, wondering if my last words to my family recorded on my phone counts as unintentional ASMR. It absolutely does. That would be quite horrific though. That's how I want to go out, making content until the last moment. Oh dear. Okay, right. So, number 8. While new knowledge and interventions may be urgently needed during public health emergencies, it remains essential to uphold the ethical principles in this declaration during such emergencies. It is the duty of physicians who are involved in medical research to protect the life, health, dignity, integrity, autonomy, privacy, and confidentiality of personal information of research participants. The responsibility for the protection of research participants must always rest with physicians or other researchers and never with the research participants, even though they have given consent. That's because we have a duty of care over them. To be fair, it's V theorem, not V liberal arts, so bad spelling is permissible. That's true. The story's actually quite funny though, because like I was misspelling it for honestly like 3 months. And then eventually I realised that I was spelling it wrong because I wrote theorem separately and I was spelling it with a U, which is apparently a really common misspelling. And then I wrote theorem separately, like in another context, and then it corrected it to having an E. It did the little wiggly thing, like you're spelling that wrong. And then I went back to Phi and Nep and I was like, have I been spelling this wrong for the last 3 months and nobody told me? And Phi was like, I thought it was just a British spelling. Which is so valid. I think I just heard her phone go off in this background noise. What? I'm so confused. Kick them out of the library. What was that? Get out. Oh no, the banshee's coming. I'm scared. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm sorry. It wasn't me. It wasn't. Okay, she's gone. She's gone. The banshee's gone. That was scary. That was scary. I thought she was gonna screech. I thought she was gonna screech. Okay. Okay. I love my ASMR with looming threats of banshee and phone noise jump scares. I mean, okay, one good thing is that it is after my medication alarm time, so my medication alarm will not go off. I can't promise that there won't be phone alarm noises in the background sounds though. I also can't promise that there won't be some light trolling. No, Osmod would never troll the stream, right? He would never troll the stream, right? Look at that face. Look at that emote that he's posted in chat. That's the face of somebody that would never troll the stream, right? Right? Now drop tungsten cube in the next room. Don't give him ideas. Don't give him ideas. This is time where we go full Rin Penrose and whip out the metal pipes. Okay? No, we're not doing that. I wonder if you could do metal pipes ASMR. Do you think that you could do building site ASMR? Is that a thing? I feel like building sites are like the opposite of ASMR. But I feel like it must be possible because you can probably ASMR anything. I even saw an ASMR video that was like, it's an ASMR like visiting your therapist for an autism assessment. And I didn't know how to feel about that. Yeah. You can do any ASMR as long as you have the drive. That's so true. That's so true. And I have the drive because content is content, am I right, lads? No, that's so bad. Imagine just no. Okay, someone can take this idea for free, because I don't want it. Right? You can just have this idea for free. ASMR based on like different jobs. Yeah. So like, you've got construction site ASMR. You've got working in a shop ASMR. You've got university lecturer talks to you very, very slowly and quietly about individual differences in personality, and you definitely don't fall asleep in the lecture. ASMR. Yeah. Yeah. Listening to visiting your therapist for autism assessment ASMR is in itself a diagnostic tool, honestly. I kind of felt like that. Like low-key, it's kind of good actually, because like one of the big things that's stressful for a lot of autistic people is like not knowing in advance what's going to happen. So it's probably quite helpful for that. But on the flip side, if you need to watch that, that's probably a sign. What were your actual feelings about the autism assessment ASMR? I didn't watch the whole thing, I just watched a little bit, but I thought the concept was quite cute. And yeah, I thought it might actually be quite helpful, you know? But on the flip side, I was also kind of like, this is a thing. Okay, this is a thing. This is the thing. I don't know how to process that. Yeah. Overarching narrative of repeatedly getting fired for doing ASMR on the job. That's so funny. That's such a good concept. That's actually really funny. I love that. Cars crashing on a highway ASMR. No, I can't. Stop it, you're gonna make me break immersion and the banshee will come. I can't. I can't. No. Can't cope with that. That's so funny. Also, hi Mikishi, welcome in. And hi Mentalist, welcome in too. Hypnotizing. Would imagine hypnotherapy ASMR. That would actually be pretty funny. I wonder how many psychology related ASMRs I could do if I wanted to. I could probably do quite a few. I feel like the obvious ones are just like, I don't know if I'd be able to do ASMR consistently, but one thing that I think I could do probably would be like BBC presenter reading a paper type of thing, you know? I don't know. I feel like that would be quite fun. I heard one VTuber who's a neuroscientist is planning an ASMR giving you brain surgery and the surgeon is incompetent. That's so funny. That's extremely funny. Anything that does that makes fun of it. That's so funny. I love that. Also, I want to be friends with the neuroscientist VTuber. What the heck? That's very cool. I swear I heard your boyfriend gets in a car crash and dies ASMR. That's horrifying. What on earth? No. Why is that a thing? I mean, anything can be ASMR, you're right. If you try hard enough. We've dropped to 8 words per minute. No. It's like the journal club again. It is. I'm sorry for letting you down, Husmod. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just that my yap cannot be contained. We're not getting through a page today. We're already through a page. I don't like your negativity. We're already on 10 out of 40 something, so, I think we're doing pretty good. Psychosis ASMR. That would be like the voices in your head ASMR, Intrusive thoughts ASMR, It's just like randomly, it's mostly just like background noise, but then it's just randomly someone coming in and whispering like, you should stick your fingers in that pastel donata. Now you may be thinking, Psydere, what's wrong with you? Why? That's so specific. Why are you talking about sticking your fingers in a pastel donata? And the answer is because I've gone to Lidl. They have pastel donatas in Lidl. I've seen a child stick their fingers in each of the 4 pastel donata in the pack. It was horrifying. Yeah. I feel like you could make that fun though, without it being without it being, because obviously intrusive thoughts can be very distressing and very horrific, and it's not fun to make ASMR about that. But it would be fun to make ASMR about the kinds of intrusive thoughts that everybody gets that aren't distressing, like sticking your fingers in the pastel donata. That would definitely be fun. Ow. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I hit the table. I'm sorry. To be fair, you are 450 words deep. Thank you. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. What I tease ASMR artists is that they do good beatboxing, so beatbox ASMR. That is skill. If someone can do ASMR and beatboxing, that's very impressive. How would you combine the two together though? You'd have to be really gentle about the beatboxing noises. I don't know. That sounds very cool though. Yeah. Intrusive thoughts ASMR actually makes a lot of sense. Most of this other stuff has just been the found footage horror of ASMR. Yeah. See, I think you could do something fun with that. I think you could do something fun. But the kind of, also most of my intrusive thoughts are actually just a quote from a movie or something just appearing. So it would also be quite fun to have quotes from movies just appearing. Yeah. I went to Lidl earlier today and I saw Jaffa Cake cookies and they were absolutely horrible. That's so sad. They should have been good. That's really sad. That's really sad. Yeah, the reading has started. We've just derailed. Look, okay, like I said, we're at the library, It's like when you go to the library with your friends from university and you sit around the table and you talk about everything except the work that you're meant to be doing together. This is on brand and valid. Also, I've been forgetting to say thank you for the lab safety register check-ins. Who's checked in? Let me quickly check the check-ins. I'll check the check-ins. Thank you, Duke Dogman, and Woodsticks, and Cezak, and Dapper Sapper, and Cleeper for the check-ins. Thank you for checking into the library, I guess. Beatbox ASMR, but it's just someone beating a box with a stick quietly. I might have a stick somewhere, and also a box somewhere. I might be able to do that. That would be funny. Lower the volume to minimum on OBS. That would be pretty funny too. I'm not gonna lie. That would be pretty funny. Did they taste like battery acid? No, I hope they didn't. Not that bad, but it was terrible. That's so sad. I'm so sorry. I had some chocolate ones in my basket as well, and I put them back in exchange for the Jaffa cake ones, and it was so disappointing. I don't think the Irish Lidl has that. I don't think Irish Lidl has the Jaffa cake, but I'll bear that in mind. I mean, I probably couldn't eat it anyway, but I'll bear it in mind to never get it for anyone else ever. Yeah. We have Jaffas. Yeah, we have Jaffas, but do we have Jaffa cake cookies? I don't think we have those. Not in the bakery. I don't know. I've never seen them anyway. There's going to be an ad. I'm really sorry. I'm giving you advanced warning. There's about to be an ad. We're going to jump scare with the ad, and then I'll go back to reading once we're done with it. I apologise profusely. Minecraft ASMR, knocking on a tungsten cube for an hour. Some excellent ideas coming through today. Excellent, excellent. Remember to keep your lab safety goggles on at all times in the library. Don't want to get any paper cuts. This is very true, actually. This is very true. I actually went to a library. I've not been to my university library in probably, I don't know, I want to say like a year at least. And I actually went the other day. And it was for such a funny reason as well. I can't share the reason yet. But when I can share the reason, I will share it. And it will be very fun. Yeah. 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 Are we doing psychology? Hi, Oak Plant FPS, welcome in. Kind of, yeah. We're reading the Declaration of Helsinki, but which is like a research ethics guidelines for medical research, you know? Yeah, so we're reading that, but we're just kind of yapping for a minute because we're in the library, and you know, that's what you do. You get distracted when you're in the library. You have to be quiet because otherwise the banshee librarian will appear, which is quite scary. Like, I'm feeling a bit nervous. She's gonna approach us. She'll just screech. Terrifying. Did you guys know that chocolate, or better described cocoa, makes more stem cells if consumed? I didn't know that. That's kind of wild, actually. It's kind of wild. Me little donkey. That's so true. Okay, the context for Me Little Donkey is there is this film called The Banshees of Inisherin, and I swear it is the most Irish film that I've ever watched. Me and husbando went to the cinema to watch it. It was so funny. It was so funny. Yeah, but like there was just this donkey. One of the characters had a donkey, and he just kept just going around and being like, "This is me little donkey," and we were like, "Okay, enjoy your donkey, I guess." Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Helsinki. Do we have any documents or sources? Yes, the pinned message is what we're reading. We're on paragraph 10 at the minute, but I'm just waiting for the ad to finish so we can keep going. Yeah. Did you know that bananas cause DNA damage? Yeah, because they're radioactive, right? They're radioactive because of the potassium in them. Yeah. Open question to anyone. I have too much cream cheese and will have to make a cheesecake before it goes bad. What type of cheesecake would you recommend? I'm a big fan of baked cheesecakes personally. You know, I'm a big baked cheesecake fan. But, you know, I don't eat actual cheese, so fake cheesecake, I guess. Just practicing for misinfo dairy persona. Oh no. You're spreading misinformation. That might attract the banshee too. I'm scared. I'm scared. Thank you for the ad warning. It was much appreciated. You're welcome. You're welcome. They're quite annoying. But when you try to turn them off, they just put them on there and you can't even guess when they're coming anymore, you know? At least if I have manual ads, then I can control when they happen and I can give warning. Okay. I'll look at baked cheesecake and see if I find any good recipes. Thanks, you're welcome. I think, yeah, baked cheesecake, very, very big fan of that. Yeah. Enjoy your lurk, mentalist. Enjoy your lurk. I know it says you've gone behind the one-way mirror, but I guess you've probably just gone to a different part of the library today. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, right. So we are on paragraph 10. Okay. So, physicians and other researchers must consider the ethical, legal, and regulatory norms and standards for research involving human participants in the country or countries in which the research originated and where it is to be performed, as well as applicable international norms and standards. No national or international ethical, legal, or regulatory requirement should reduce or eliminate any of the protections for research participants set forth in this declaration. Medical research should be designed and conducted in a manner that avoids or minimizes harm to the environment and strives for environmental sustainability. Medical research involving human participants must be conducted only by the individuals with the appropriate ethics and scientific education, training, and qualifications. Such research requires the supervision of a competent and appropriately qualified physician or other researcher. Scientific integrity is essential in the conduct of medical research involving human participants. Involved individuals, teams, and organizations must never engage in research misconduct. Groups that are underrepresented in medical research should be provided appropriate access to participation in research. Physicians who combine medical research with medical care. Wait, what? No. Dang, we got through almost a whole section without me stumbling. This is so sad. Physicians who combine medical research with medical care should involve their patients in research only to the extent that it is justified by its potential preventative, diagnostic, or therapeutic value, and if the physician has good reason to believe that participation in the research will not adversely affect the health of the patients who serve as research participants. Appropriate compensation and treatment for participants who are harmed as a result of participating in research must be ensured. Okay, that's it. We finished the general principles section, so we can move on to risks, burdens, and benefits. Yeah. Searching on YouTube, there are multiple autism assessment ASMRs. It's an entire genre. That is wild. That is honestly wild. That's quite impressive. Look, there's a niche that clearly needs to be filled there, you know? I mean, is it? I wonder if it's actual ASMR or if it's just like, because it's ASMR, it ends up being sensory friendly by default. So I wonder if there's some overlap there. Yeah, so these are principles for conducting ethical human research. It's designed for medical research, so like medical doctors or, like biomedical research, stuff like that. I'm a psychologist. I'm not a mental health type of psychologist, so I don't really do, uh, mm, yeah, I don't really do like mental health research or anything like that. I do more research into why people believe things about science. That being said, I did actually need to read this anyway because I think I'm going to be collaborating with some people that are in life sciences at some point, you know? Yeah. No, not another prediction on how many paragraphs we get through before the next distraction. Well, the answer was none because I'm already there. I'm already distracted. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it for the next section. Okay. So the next two sections there is 5 paragraphs. So yeah. What do you mean I can't just turn people into dinosaurs without their consent? I mean that's a very, very cool research idea, but you probably can't. I'm not gonna lie. You probably need them to agree to become dinosaurs. It's quite a big lifestyle change. When will we get to the unethical human research guidelines? I wonder if that's an actual thing. Surely there must be some kind of satirical guidelines. There must be. There must be some kind of satirical guidelines. That must be a thing. 12 words per minute, thank you. I'm doing my best, okay. Yes, let's go for the risks, burdens, and benefits. Let's do it, let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Yes, there's a prediction up about whether I'm going to finish or not. We'll see how we go. We're about 30%. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Risks, burdens, and benefits. In medical practice and in. Ooh, I didn't like how my voice went then. In medical practice and in medical research, most interventions involve risks and burdens. Medical research involving human participants may only be conducted if the importance of the objective outweighs the risks and burdens of the research participants. No, if it outweighs the risks and burdens to the research participants. All medical research involving human participants must be preceded by careful assessment of predictable risks and burdens to the individuals and groups involved in the research in comparison with foreseeable benefits to them and to other individuals or groups affected by the condition under investigation. Measures to minimize the risks and burdens must be implemented. The risks and burdens must be continuously monitored, assessed, and documented by the researcher. Physicians and other researchers may not engage in research. They may not. I'm struggling. Physicians and other researchers may not engage in research involving human participants unless they are confident that the risks and burdens have been adequately assessed and can be satisfactorily managed. When the risks and burdens are found to outweigh the potential benefits, or where there is conclusive proof of definitive outcomes, physicians and other researchers must assess whether to continue, modify, or immediately stop the research. Anything unclear? No, I think this is all fairly clear so far. We need to make sure that we protect individual rights and privacy and well-being, and that can't be risked as part of the greater good. That makes sense. Okay. The next section is individual, group, and community vulnerability. Some individuals, groups, and communities are in a situation of more vulnerability as research participants due to factors that may be fixed or contextual and dynamic, and thus are at greater risk of being wronged or incurring harm. When such individuals, groups, and communities have distinctive health needs, their exclusion from medical research can potentially perpetuate or exacerbate their disparities. Therefore, the harms of exclusion must be considered and weighed against the harms of inclusion. In order to be fairly and responsibly included in research, they should receive specifically considered support and protections. Medical research with individuals, groups, or communities in situations of particular vulnerability is only justified if it is responsive to their health needs and priorities, and the individual, group, or community stands to benefit from the resulting knowledge, practices, or interventions. Researchers should only include those in situations of particular vulnerability when the research cannot be carried out in a less vulnerable group or community, or when excluding them would perpetuate or exacerbate their disparities. I'm just going to say that I've bet all of my bits for Psydere to finish the declaration at this stream, and I'm already drafting the tweet longer just in case. Thank you for your belief in me, Kleeper. Thank you. Yes, all of your channel points, yes. Thank you for betting all of your channel points. Thank you for believing in me. Yes, the research credits. I always forget what they're called too. It's terrible, really. I should know. Ow, I meant to do that. Okay. My throat's hurting a little bit, so I'm gonna drink some water now. Does this count as ASMR? Can you even hear this? Oh, that's my water bottle. How exciting. Okay. We can? Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if you can hear, like, noises. I wonder how you speak so rhythmically accurate time frames. Yeah, it probably is the autism, to be honest. It probably is. At 30, when there was just 10, and to try and get a big cut, but I guess we've been outbid. Yeah. Your play did not succeed. We could hear you hit whatever that was. I think that was genuinely just me putting my hand down on the desk. That's just me hitting my desk. Ow. Ignore that. Okay. Need to be careful, other the banshee's coming. Quick, be quiet. It's the banshee. Okay, she's gone. We're fine. Hi Lankuri, how are you doing? Thank you for popping in. Enjoy your Overwatch playing. Thank you. These declarations are so boring when we were learning what Helsinki discovered. Helsinki didn't discover anything. Helsinki's a place. Helsinki's the capital of Finland. It's where they signed it. Yeah. Thank you for the follow, Boosie. Welcome in. I hope you're good. Welcome to the library. Normally I'd say aggressively that you have to take part in research, but thankfully we're actually reading the ethics under which you have to take part, so I think you're going to be fine. The stream will end with an actual ear-shattering banshee scream. I can't promise anything. Hi Poota, how are you doing? Welcome in. When can I conduct the Stanford prison experiment? One trial was not enough. That would not be in line with the Declaration of Helsinki. I can't endorse this. I was going to claim it had a misspelling in the document, but apparently America writes fulfill with... Wait, what? With 2 L's, while we write fulfill with 1 L. That's really upsetting. I'm sure many things have been discovered in Helsinki. That's very true. They do have a pretty good university. Disappointing if not. Oh no, there's pressure. There's pressure. There's pressure. And thank you for the follow oak plant FPS. Welcome into the participation pool. Welcome in. Okay, so do we discover on this channel, like research and find out? Actually, yes, we read scientific papers fairly regularly on stream. So, unironically, yes. Okay. Osmod's already sitting in the corner of the room like the banshee from Left 4 Dead. He's ready. He's ready. He's ready. I'm scared. I'm threatened. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to find the right place on the page. I've lost it. Okay. I found it. I found it. I found it. Okay. Right. So, the next section is scientific requirements and research protocols. Okay. So, medical research involving human participants must have a scientifically sound and rigorous design and execution that are likely to produce reliable, valid, and valuable knowledge and avoid research waste. The research must conform to generally accepted scientific principles, be based on a thorough knowledge of the scientific literature, other relevant sources of information, and adequate laboratory and, as appropriate, animal experimentation. The welfare of animals used for research must be respected. There's an entire separate thing about animal research. I'm sure there's a separate declaration for it. The design and performance of all medical research involving human participants must be clearly described and justified in a research protocol. The protocol should contain a statement for the ethical considerations involved and should indicate how the principles in this declaration have been addressed. The protocol should include information regarding aims, methods, anticipated benefits, and potential risks and burdens, qualifications of the researcher, sources of funding, any potential conflicts of interest, provisions to protect privacy and confidentiality, incentives for participants, provisions for treating and/or compensating participants who are harmed as a consequence of participation, and any other relevant aspects of the research. In clinical trials, the protocol must also describe any post-trial provisions. Next section, research ethics committees. The protocol must be submitted for consideration, comment, guidance, and approval to the concerned research ethics committee before the research. This committee must be transparent in its functioning and must have the independence and authority to resist undue influence from the researcher, the sponsor, or others. The committee must have sufficient resources to fulfill its duties, and its members and staff must collectively have adequate education, training, qualifications, and diversity to effectively evaluate each type of research it reviews. The committee must have sufficient familiarity with local circumstances and context, and include at least one member of the general public. It must take into consideration the ethical, legal, and regulatory norms and standards of the country or countries in which the research is to be performed, as well as applicable international norms and standards, but these must not be allowed to reduce or eliminate any part of the protections for research participants set forth in this declaration. When collaborative research is performed internationally, the research protocol must be approved by research ethics committees in both the sponsoring and host countries. The committee must have the right to monitor, recommend changes to, withdraw approval for, and suspend ongoing research. Where monitoring is required, the researcher must provide information to the committee and/or competent data and safety monitoring entity, especially about any serious adverse events. No amendment to the protocol may be made without consideration and approval by the committee. After the end of the research, the researchers must submit a final report to the committee containing a summary of the findings and conclusions. Hi Zakia, how are you doing? Welcome in, hope you're good. Science ASMR, indeed, indeed. I've seen people researching with ignorance to local community context and got punched by local people of the village. Yeah, it is very, very important to do it, to do ethical and honestly also just like good quality, robust research. Very, very important. But yeah, people can sometimes respond quite negatively when they're being misrepresented or not being adequately included in the research process. Okay, the next section is privacy and confidentiality. Every precaution must be taken to protect the privacy of research participants and the confidentiality of their personal information. That was the whole section. Okay, next section, free and informed consent. Free and informed consent is an essential component of respect for individual autonomy. Participation by individuals capable of giving informed consent in medical research must be voluntary. Although it may be appropriate to consult family members or community representatives, individuals capable of giving informed consent may not be enrolled in research unless they freely agree. In medical research involving human participants capable of giving informed consent, each potential participant must be adequately informed in plain language of the aims, methods, anticipated benefits, and potential risks and burdens, qualifications of the researcher, sources of funding, any potential conflicts of interest, provisions to protect privacy and confidentiality, incentives to participants, provisions for treating and/or compensating participants who are harmed as a consequence of participation, and any other relevant aspects of the research. The potential participant must be informed of the right to refuse to participate in the research or to withdraw consent to participate at any time without reprisal. Special attention should be given to the specific information and communication needs of individual potential participants, as well as the methods used to deliver the information. After ensuring that the potential participant has understood the information, the physician or another qualified individual must then seek the potential participant's freely given informed consent, formally documented on paper or electronically. If the consent cannot be expressed on paper or electronically, the non-written consent must be formally witnessed and documented. All medical research participants should be given the option of being informed about the general outcome and results of the research. When seeking informed consent for participation in research, the physician or other researcher must be particularly cautious if the potential participant is in a dependent relationship with them or may consent under duress. In such situations, the informed consent must be sought by an appropriately qualified individual who is independent of this relationship. In medical research involving human participants capable of giving free and informed consent, the physician or other qualified individual must seek informed consent from the legally authorized representative, considering preferences and values expressed by the potential participant. Those persons incapable of giving free and informed consent are in situations of particular vulnerability and are entitled to the corresponding safeguards. In addition to receiving the protections for the particularly vulnerable, those incapable of giving consent must only be included if the research is likely to either personally benefit them, or if it entails only minimal risk and minimal burden. When a potential research participant who is incapable of giving free and informed consent is able to give assent to decisions about the participation in research, the physician or other qualified individual must seek that assent in addition to the consent of the... This one's difficult. Okay, let me start that again. Okay. What do you mean you didn't receive written consent from the yeast? That's terrible. I can't believe you didn't do that. Okay. When a potential research participant who is incapable of giving free and informed consent is able to give assent to decisions about participation in research, the physician or other qualified individual must seek that assent in addition to the consent of the legally authorized representative, considering any preferences and values expressed by the potential participant. The potential participant's dissent should be respected. Research involving participants who are physically or mentally incapable of giving consent, for example, unconscious patients, may only be done if the physical or mental condition that prevents giving informed consent is a necessary characteristic of the research group. In such circumstances, the physician or other qualified individual must seek informed consent from the legally authorized representative. If no such representative is available, and if the research cannot be delayed, the research may proceed without informed consent, provided that the specific reasons for involving the participant with a condition that renders them unable to give informed consent have been stated in the research protocol, and the research has been approved by a research ethics committee. Free and informed consent to remain in the research must be obtained as soon as possible from a legally authorized representative, or, if they regain capacity to give consent, from the participant. The physician or other researcher must fully inform potential participants which aspects of their care are related to the research. The refusal of a patient to participate in research, or the patient's decision to withdraw from research, must never adversely affect the patient-physician relationship or provision of standard care, or provision of the standard of care. The standard of care, yeah. 25 words per minute, let's go, we're doing great. Physicians or other qualified individuals must obtain free and informed consent from research participants for the collection, processing, storage, and foreseeable secondary use of biological material and identifiable or re-identifiable data. Any collection and storage of data or biological material from research participants for multiple and indefinite uses should be consistent with requirements set forth in the WMA Declaration of Type A, including the rights of individuals and the principles of governance. A research ethics committee must approve the establishment and monitor ongoing use of such databases and biobanks. Where consent is impossible or impractical to obtain, secondary research on stored data or biological material may be done only after consideration and approval of a research ethics committee. That was a long section. That was a very long section. Okay. Yeah, the keeping track of the words is just a funny running joke that we have. You're doing a very good job of it, Astral, thank you. And yeah, the Discord server, we do normally have a channel points redeem for it. We're in the process of making it public, so that's gonna go, and then there will just be a link, but not yet. It's coming. Unfortunately, I do actually have a full-time job, so not unfortunately, I love my job, I love doing science, but it means that I don't have time to do stuff like this very often. Okay. So, the next section is use of placebo. The benefits, risks, burdens, and effectiveness of a new intervention must be tested against those of the best proven... No, I struggled. Okay. The benefits, risks, burdens, and effectiveness of a new intervention must be tested against those of the best proven interventions, except in the following circumstances. If no proven intervention exists, the use of placebo or no intervention is acceptable. Or, if, for compelling and scientifically sound methodological reasons, the use of any intervention other than the best proven ones, the use of placebo, or no intervention is necessary to determine the efficacy or safety of an intervention, and the participants who receive any intervention other than the best proven ones, placebo or no intervention, will not be subject to additional risks of serious or irreversible harm as a result of not receiving the best proven intervention. Extreme care must be taken to avoid abuse of this option. First thing I learned about Psydere was Mylan saying she reads papers slow. Yeah, that's fair. I do read papers slow. we yap. It's not possible to join the Discord through the redeem yet, or it's just not very meaningful until it's refreshed. Yeah, it's just not meaningful until it's refreshed. So we're kind of going through like a transition period with it. For a long time we had the redeem and it would do things. And at the minute we do not have the redeem. It does not do anything. We're gonna eventually change it so that the bot just like gives the thing, you know, it just gives the link. But we will get there, just not yet. Discord leads to a community. Yeah, we have a Discord. It's just that right now it's only accessible to people that have been in the community for a while. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, because we don't, the thing is that like, so something stochastic is also working full time, so we don't have like a lot of time to like manage it. So right now it's easier for us to just keep it closed for now, because we know the people that are in there are fine, if that makes sense. They're not gonna do anything sus. Yeah. But yeah, we're working out how to expand it. Imagine being functional adults. I mean, that's stretching the definition of functional, to be fair. 5 big booms for the Discord redeem. So true. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I love them. They're so funny. Okay. Time to do something sus. Please don't. Okay. So the next section is post-trial provisions. In advance of a clinical trial, post-trial provisions must be arranged by sponsors and researchers to be provided by themselves, healthcare systems, or governments for all participants who still need an intervention identified as beneficial and reasonably safe in the trial. Exceptions to this requirement must be approved by a research ethics committee. Specific information about post-trial provisions must be disclosed to participants as part of the informed consent. Osmod's all-seeing eye. I live in fear. People in the Discord will only try to proselytize the cult of the tungsten cube to you. This is very true. This is very, very true. Okay. The next section is research registration, publication, and dissemination of results. Medical research involving human participants must be registered in a publicly accessible database before recruitment of the first participant. Researchers, authors, sponsors, editors, and publishers all have ethical obligations with regards to the publication and dissemination of the results of research. Researchers have a duty to make publicly available the results of their research on human participants and are accountable for the timeliness, completeness, and accuracy of their reports. All parties should adhere to accepted guidelines for ethical reporting. Negative and inconclusive, as well as positive results, must be published or otherwise made publicly available. Sources of funding, institutional affiliations, and conflicts of interest must be declared in the publication. Reports of research not in accordance with the principles of this declaration should not be accepted for publication. Okay. The next section is unproven. Wait, is this the last section? It is. Okay. The final section is unproven interventions in clinical practice. When an unproven intervention is utilized in an attempt to restore health or alleviate suffering for an individual patient because approved options are inadequate or ineffective and enrollment in a clinical trial is not possible, it should be subsequently made the object of research designed to evaluate safety and efficacy. Physicians participating in such interventions must first seek expert advice, weigh possible risks, burdens, and benefits, and obtain informed consent. They must also record and share data when appropriate and avoid compromising clinical trials. These interventions must never be undertaken to circumvent the protections for research participants set forth in this declaration. Oh. There we go. Disclaimer. The Declaration of Helsinki is copyright 2024, World Medical Association. All rights reserved. All intellectual property rights in the Declaration of Helsinki are vested in the World Medical Association. The World Medical Association has granted JAMA exclusive rights to publish the English language version of the Declaration through December 31st, 2024. I'm not making any profit. This is just for entertainment purposes. Let's go. Disclaimer. Yeah, we had to do the disclaimer. Because it is technically copyright, so I needed to add that at the end. Well, now that's done, I think we could probably chat for a little bit. Because I think I haven't seen the Banshee in a little while. You know, I think we might be fine. So close yet so far. I mean, it rounds up to 30, you know? It rounds up to 30. Yeah. In psychology, where do human reactions come from? That's a pretty big question. I need to know a bit more information about what you mean by reactions. Because reactions can mean a whole bunch of things. It could mean emotions, it could mean verbal responses, it could be behavioral responses. So yeah, I'd need a little bit more. Rounds up to 30. What are you, an engineer? I mean, engineering is just applied science, right? Right? I think Mylan did 31. They're better than me. So sad. You win this one, Mylan. Let's be honest, they always win. They always read faster than me, so yeah. Pi is basically 10. Exactly. I like your thinking. What is pi? I can't remember. It's like 3.1415 something, right? I haven't done maths in a very, very long time. Yeah. I think this was a speed run, relatively speaking. It kind of was, wasn't it? It kind of was. Okay, here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm scared that the Banshee's gonna come. So I think we can slink out of the library very, very quickly, okay? I think we can leave the library. So shall we move? Let's move. Let's move out of the library back to our normal office. Let's go back to the library. No, out of the library into our normal office. Okay, I'm going. Okay, we're back. We're back. You did your vine boom too quickly. Okay, the things are all on again now, so there you go. You can do your vine booms and your quacks and your everything. Let me put the music back on. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Oh, I need to drink some water. Goodness gracious. Wow, I know, right? I have a voice. Crazy. No, not crazy. We're not using that language. I do my best to not use it, but Twitch. Yes. I was fighting not to boom in the library. If you'd have done that, the banshee definitely would have come. Hang on, let me put the music back on. There we go. There you go. There's some music again. Yay! I can talk. My voice actually feels kind of funky. Hang on. I might need to learn how to talk properly again. This is not ideal. This is not ideal. Oh no. Okay, give me a second. Let me like clear my throat and stuff because I've never done ASMR like that before. That was my first ever ASMR. I'm preparing for the for the ASMR paper readings because we did one as a joke once, like a really long time ago. We did one as a joke. It was like a 5-minute bit. And I struggled with it a bit because I kept laughing. I think we did pretty well today, though. I didn't laugh too much. Psydere finishing something within 2 hours? A conspiracy is afoot. Exactly. Someone call Miss Infodere. She's coming. She's been summoned. Hi, Tayu! Misinformation giggling is cute. I don't think it was. I think it was like, it kind of low-key sounded like I was, choking, I think, probably. Oh no, I have to like go back and edit it. So I'll see. How are you doing, Tayu? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Needed to turn my audio down. I apologize. I feel like I gave you some warning though. I did give you some warning, you know? My voice actually feels like strange. Oh dear. Oh dear. I feel like it's gone down a register. What's up with that? Why has that happened? I need to reflex my vocal cords apparently. You don't really do giggling. That's true. That's true. It's more like unhinged British cackling, you know? Oh no. You were lurking because you're in pain. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I hope you feel better soon. I hope you feel better soon. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to cough. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about ASMR. I'm not sure if that's Did you know that Irish people would be like ASMR? They say like or instead of R. It's quite fun. It's very fun actually. So like the national broadcaster is like RTE, but they say RTE. It's very fun. We love that. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the ASMR. Not sure about that one, Chief. Not sure about that one. Oh no. Oh no. Felt like really old ASMR videos a bit. Yeah. See, this is the thing, is that when I was like looking into it, it felt to me like there was quite a distinct difference between like modern ASMR, which is very much like mouth noises, like someone getting really close and being like, blah, 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 you know? And I was not about that. I was not about that. That makes me uncomfortable, you know? So yeah, I don't know. Those are your favorite? See, I think I have like mild misophonia. Like genuinely, they make me feel sick. They make me feel sick. Yeah. Yeah, are they unpopular? See, that's surprising because like when I went on the ASMR category earlier to do some research about what people were doing live, I noticed that actually a lot of them were like that, like the yeah, like the licking noises and the sucking noises and stuff like that, and the mouth popping and things. And I was like, oh, I'm not. Oh no, this is doing something very unpleasant. No, I'm having a fight or flight response. Let's leave. And then I went onto one that was like accidental ASMR on YouTube. It was just some guy just like lecturing about physics. And I was like, that's it. That's the one. It was just him talking quietly, you know? Yeah. Very good. Very good. I suspect the library environment made the reading go faster. Yeah, it may well have done actually. It may well have done. Yeah. It probably did actually help. Yeah. Cause like I feel like I went back to my like university brain space, you know? Yeah. The goats into licking noises, who would have thought? I wonder if like animals have different responses to ASMR depending on the type of animal they are. I do wonder. That's quite interesting. Hmm. Hmm. That feeling is the point. It's autonomous sensory meridian response. Yeah, but like I thought it's meant to be like tingly and pleasant. For me, it's like someone's walking on my grave, unpleasant. Like all of my hairs stand on end and I am like, this is unpleasant and I want to leave, you know? I don't think that's the kind of response that's meant to happen. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah. ASMR Meta has lost the script. I mean, they certainly have a script. I'm just not sure about what that script is. Like, I kind of live in fear of the script. Oh, there was another one that I saw actually that was like some guy just like cooking campfire food. That was good. I liked that one. That was very nice. Yeah. Like the cooking campfire food or like fire noises or like cafe noises, white noise, that's all good for me. I like that. If it's fairly like consistent, yeah, that's very nice. Yeah. Yeah. But like the oh no, the licky smacky, yeah, popping, no. Big no from me. Thank you. Yeah. Makes me feel better to hear someone in the field say misophonia. I've been struggling to accept that one myself, despite showing this all the signs. Yeah. See, I think like I don't know if it's like actual misophonia or if it's just like a sensory thing, you know, like if it's like a because like with misophonia, it's like a lot of people it's like, yeah, eating noises and stuff like that. And I do kind of do like I do that. Like if I go out for dinner like, whenever I go to a ramen place, that's, like, my worst nightmare because loads of people are, like, slurping, and that really, 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 really bothers me. Like, slurping and then, like just, like, mouth noises in general, like, when I'm listening to a podcast and they haven't edited out the popping and stuff. Oh, no, I can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. Nah. Nah. I guess that might also be because my social sphere is so disproportionately neurodivergent. I think lots of us have very strong reactions to body sounds. Yes. Could well be. Could well be. Slurping here means you like the food. See, that's fair enough. I think this might be also like, it might be partially like sensory for me, and also partially the fact that I'm British. Because, like, I was raised in a very much like do not ever slurp your food. If you slurp your food, that is like the epitome of rudeness. Do not do that. So it could be like a combination of the two things. Yeah. I don't know. It's quite interesting how these things interact. Cats gag if you stroke a comb. What? That's wild. That I didn't know that. That's really interesting. Maybe I'm just a cat because I don't like that noise either. Like the kind of like whip noise that it does. No, 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 thank you. Fire sounds go hard. They do. They're so good. So, so satisfying. I was about to say to you that there's a right field for your parents are approving of you ASMR, but then I realized that's just every no traceable short. Parents approving of you, teacher approving of you, you know, like girlfriend slash boyfriend approving of you. I think I've seen quite a lot of those. Yeah. I think I've seen quite a lot. I can't eat without something playing because the sound of my own chewing can make me angry or annoyed. Yeah. I have to eat quietly for myself as well. Weirdly, like crunching is fine. Like crunching, totally cool with. But like slurping or like toffee chewing, no. Chewing gum, no. 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 But crunching is totally fine. Very weird. Very weird. I enjoy calm crafting streams that would probably qualify as ASMR. Yeah, I feel like there's like relaxing ASMR adjacent, right? Which is probably that kind of thing. I also really enjoy that. Like my favorite things to put on in the background of doing anything is like other people doing art or crafts or like yeah, working on something and it's just like the noises of them working on something. Yeah. I get that. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. Hi, animal. Welcome in. Slurp food. How do you do that? You know, like when people like are eating noodles or something, and then they just like slurp all of the juice up. Oh no, no! Even just saying it, no. Or like soup. Oh no, no, that. When it's like noisy, can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't cope. No. Also work with headphones on, otherwise I try to listen to and focus on every noise. Everything gets way overwhelming. Yeah, I'm the same. Especially if I'm like it's kind of funny because like if I'm in a public space with a lot of people in it, then I can drown it out because it all kind of just becomes like one noise. Like my brain can't differentiate them if that makes sense. Like I can't tell a I can tell like whether something's further away or closer. Like if there's people right behind me having a conversation in a busy room, I can tell that they're closer, but like I can't separate out the voice tracks if that makes I don't know if that makes any sense. I can't separate out the voice tracks. One of like the really like disturbing revelations I had when I was studying undergrad psychology is that there's this thing called the cocktail party effect where like people can focus on individual conversations when they're in a busy room like a cocktail party. And when I was like research, like I always remembered it because I was like, wait, that's a thing that people can do. People could just like separate out the voice tracks. They can focus on one conversation at a time and they can't hear all of them at once. That's wild. That's wild. So yeah, that was a thing. It also explained why I can't hear things in busy rooms, you know? Because I was always told like maybe you've got bad hearing and then I went and got my hearing checked and they were like you've actually got extremely good hearing, concerningly good hearing in fact. Your hearing should not be as detecting as long as a range of it like as broad of a range as it does. And I was like, "Okay, cool. So why can't I hear anything in busy rooms then?" And they were like, "Don't know. Maybe it's your brain." And it turns out it was. So, yeah. ASMR is what you hear when you're affected by the magical girl powers. So true, actually. I can manipulate your perception. Like, that is canonically my magical girl power. So, that adds up. That adds up. I can make you think that I'm doing ASMR when I'm actually just talking normally, you know? Yeah. 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 It's quite a subjective thing. In Chinese culture, it's a sign that you enjoy your food. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. So this is why I think it might be like the slurping thing might be like yeah, part misophonia or sensory sensitivity and part cultural because like in the UK, at least where I grew up, I was always taught like it is extremely rude to do that. Like you must never do that because it's like disrespectful to the people around you because they might not want to hear it basically. That's what I was always taught growing up. So, yeah, I wonder if it's like the two things interacting in an interesting way. I wonder if like misophonia is like a cultural thing almost. Or like if it interacts with culture like that. I wonder if like misophonia for slurping is less bad in cultures where slurping is socially acceptable. I wonder. I love the sound of crunching snow. It's a shame so little of it in the south of England. Yes, I love the sound of crunching snow too. And I also feel you because Ireland, like, there's some parts of Ireland that get a lot of snow, but not in the cities. The cities don't really get any. Voice tracks, Cider Robot confirmed. How else am I meant to describe it? Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, separate conversations in a room, they're just voice tracks. Like, it's just multiple podcasts playing at once, right? Oh no. As a musician, when I listen to a track, I can listen to separate instruments on a collective track. It's a skill involving attention. So, this is the thing if it's recorded, I can do it. Like, if I'm listening to a music track and I just wanna listen to, like, the bass line, I can listen to that. I can focus on it. It's when I'm in a busy room with a lot of stuff going on, that's when it all starts to merge together. It's like a very, very specific environmental thing. It's very odd. Very odd. Don't know why. Yeah. Yeah. I'm very accidentally noisy and will absent-mindedly just listen to conversations instead of the lecturer. Yeah, no, I kinda get that. I kind of get that. I like when there's somebody like having a conversation right in front of me in a classroom setting, I can't unhear it. And like there's actually been situations where I have been like teaching and like there's like people having a conversation at the back of the classroom and I can hear it like all the way across the classroom and no. I like occasionally I've had situations where I'm like, okay, we're just gonna quickly take a few minutes break. Let me go grab some water, and then I'll go to the back of the room and I'll just be quietly like, guys, I can literally hear you. Like, please stop talking. I can hear you, and it's putting me off my own lecturing. And like every time they're always like very like, oh, I'm really sorry. That's actually quite embarrassing type of situation, but. Like, why would you talk over the lecturer in the first place? That's just why. Don't do that. It's very distracting. As a lecturer, I'm telling you now, like, as somebody who has lectured, it's very, very distracting when people are talking. I can hear it across the room. Please don't do it. Like, public service announcement for the day. Don't do that. Is not slurping, like not having your elbows on the table where there's a historical reason for it. I don't know. I think that that might just be like a Britishism. Like, I think generally British people are very much like, we don't. Okay, this is kind of changing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is culturally not as much of a thing anymore. But like, uh, culturally, like we just don't really like being we don't like loud noises. We don't like being annoying in public. When people are annoying in public, people will never say anything, but everyone is judging you. So, like, for example, like it's a thing now for like kids to just constantly play TikToks out loud on the bus. And every single person, like over the age of 25, will be sat on that bus being like, what are you doing? Stop it. That's like the worst thing that I've ever seen. Nobody will say anything because we're all too socially awkward to say anything. Like Britain is a very socially awkward country. Um but yeah. That's yeah, it might just be like noises. We don't like noises. I don't know. As we say, we don't walk into others' church with your rules, so we just keep slurps. As Mauve tone in England. Yes. please please slurp quietly. Please do not slurp. No, it's like it honestly though, it is all of it. It's like all of the noises that bother me personally. So I do think it's probably a me problem more than like an England generally problem. Yeah. Saw the news of a snow warning and and I was excited, but it was for York, the opposite side of the country. Yeah, I get that. That's me every time that there's any kind of like snow warning in Scotland. I'm like, ah, wrong Gaelic country. Please bring the snow over here. Very sad. Very sad. Cultural autism affectionate. No, to be fair, no, I think that Britain is social anxiety personified. If I had to choose cultural autism, like if I'm being completely honest with you, it would be the Nordic countries. Because like every time that I've been to like a Nordic country and I just vibed. Like I just knew what I was meant to do. The rules were explicit and like people don't address you like directly. They will like leave you a note or something. 10 out of 10. Loved it. So that was good. And they're also very direct in their speech. Like they will just tell you something. They won't like beat around the bush. That was my experience anyway. So I enjoyed the Nordic country that I visited, the Scandinavian country that I visited, yes. And also don't get people that just walk into a lecture 10 minutes late. I would be mortified. I'm not gonna lie, I did used to do that because I commuted for uni. So for like part of my undergrad, I commuted quite a long distance and sometimes the trains just wouldn't turn up. Yeah. So I used to do that. And I'd just be like, I'm not gonna lie though, I did warn the lecturers in advance. Like, I told them on the first day of class, like, I might be late occasionally because trains, sorry. So I never got like told off for it or anything, and I never got any dirty looks, at least from the lecturer. I didn't care about the other students. They can give me dirty looks, it doesn't bother me. Whatever. Whatever. That's a you problem. Yeah. The tots of shame. Yeah. If you do something wrong in the well, in England, you'll get the tots of shame. People will just be like, but they won't say anything. Yeah. Yeah. I relate to that so much. People disregarding social rules and nobody wanting to let them know social awkwardness is a cultural trait for the win. Yeah. We would just kind of stand there just staring, being like, or not even staring, just like side-eyeing. Like, you are doing something that is very annoying, but I can't bring myself to say anything. Yeah. High five. Uh, Not sure if I'm socially awkward or just British. The answer could be yes. It might be both. I heard the Dutch are masters of directness. They could be too blunt for many that are not used to it. Yeah, I've experienced Dutch bluntness, and I also appreciated that, actually. That was also pretty fun. Yeah. Yeah. That was also pretty fun. I liked it. Also, I liked their trains, and their supermarkets were interesting. Yeah. I have like a thing where every time I go to another country, I want to go to the supermarket and see what I can find and what I can eat, and then just experience it. And I must say, Dutch supermarkets felt very like logically organized. Yeah. Thus far, every guy Brit I've met is super deflective of affection, can't take or give compliments even at gunpoint. Yeah, the only way that British people can give compliments is like if it's sarcastic. Genuinely, like, and even if we try and give a genuine compliment, it always just ends up sounding sarcastic anyway. Like, if I sit here and I'd be like, wow, Mikashi, I absolutely love the input that you've had on chat today. Like, it just sounds sarcastic. We're not good at it. It's fine in text, but like, no, voice, no, can't do it. It sounds sarcastic. Hi, Arctic Bella. How you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're good. I hope you're good. Isn't it better to show up late than to miss a class? I think so. I think so. I think so. I think it's better to show up late than to not show up at all. Although, like, to be fair, if it's recorded, it might be better to not show up. Also, if you turn up 45 minutes late into a 1-hour lecture, then it's also, you know, just watch the recording. You've kind of missed the whole point of the lecture at that point. Yeah. The only advantage of American tourists is that they'll shut that stuff down. Okay, I gotta say, there's a lot of American tourists in Ireland in general, always, permanently. And that's not my experience. My experience is that it's the Germans. It's the Germans that will just call out your nonsense. Every time that there's like a some kind of German tourist group anywhere around, they like anytime they've been on a bus or anything, it's like they just turn around and they'll be like, will you turn off that TikTok? And then the person is like not used to it, because the Irish people are very friendly but also not very confrontational, so they'll just be like, oh, sorry, yeah, sorry, yeah, okay, soz, sorry for bothering you. So yeah, that's the thing. Oh dear. You are the most amazing and incredible VTuber that I know. Sarcastic, genuine. Genuinely, like I really struggle with it. Like I've had so many times where I've had to give feedback to like a student, and then I've told them like, you did really well on this, and then they're like, is that sarcastic? And I'm like, no, it's just my accent. Sorry. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think I like the straightforward German attitude. It's pretty good. Pretty good. We do like it. They call out stuff. It's quite helpful sometimes. Wow, you didn't suck this time. No, I would never give feedback like that. I give very good constructive feedback. Thank you very much. I will sit there and I will nitpick their entire essay, and then I'll distill it into 3 comments, but I'll leave all of my nitpicks on the essay so they can see exactly what I was thinking. And it's never rude, but sometimes it probably does sound sarcastic, so I can't help it. I do my best. Okay, so okay. I'm not gonna lie, my throat kind of hurts. I think that the ASMR might have actually destroyed my throat a little bit. So I think it's time to wrap up for today. Let's wrap up for today, I think. It's time. It's time. So, here's my thinking. Another scientist VTuber is always fun. So I think we should do that. I think we should go and say hi to another scientist VTuber. Also, I'm kind of scared, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. There's one business boss that asks every time, is that your best work? No, that's so stressful. That's so stressful. I would not like that. I would not like that. Nice stream. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Remember to end the betting. Yes, you're right. Did we finish it? We did finish it. Choose outcome. We finished reading. There you go. Complete prediction. There you go. Enjoy your extra research credits. Please don't use them to make me do an ara ara. I never appreciate it. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's funny. Yeah, yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It's fine. Okay, so I'm thinking we're gonna go and see some science. Well, not science. A scientist. So, yes. Wait, there's raid message. Thank you. I agree. So there are the raid messages. There are the raid messages. Yeah. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. I know this was a bit like wacky and not a normal stream for me. But you know, we had the charity goals. We have to do them. I think I still owe a video where I say ara ara for 15 minutes straight. And I also still owe a Duolingo stream. There might be something else too. I can't remember. Yeah. Scammed array time. So true. So true. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Who are we raiding? We're going to go and raid August Anomaly. We're going to go raid August Anomaly. Anemone. No, Anomaly. We're going to go raid August Anomaly, who is doing, what is this? Tournament chatting, but it looks like it's like a live stream of a convention or something right now. I'm not sure what's going on. But I think this might be live. That's kind of wacky. Whoa. Either way, looks pretty fun. I think we're going to be interrupting. Self-raid. Yeah, let's go there. There we go. We're going, yeah. We're going to go say hi. Yes. Read that the Duolingo owl has been murdered. That's very true, actually. They're doing a whole thing at the minute where the Duolingo owl has been murdered. I don't really get it, but it's fine. We're raid Rin Penrose for the self-raid. One day, but I'm scared, you know? I'm not sure about that. Oh, it looks like August has just finished doing the conference live stream thing, convention live stream, so that's good. This is a good time to go. Okay. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Yeah. What else? What else are we doing? I don't know when we're next streaming. I don't know what we're doing. I have no plans, as always. We're just gonna be like guerrilla streaming. We're just gonna be working stuff out. I guess if you're not following already, then do, because, you know, it entirely relies on vibes and notifications. So yeah. Yeah. Stream schedule, no, genuinely. Yeah. Genuinely. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope the ASMR wasn't too cursed. And yeah, I will see you next time for something at some point in time. I don't know. Bye.